In this video, I thought I would make a pet cat. So, oh, look at that. Free cat. Brah. There we go. There's a cat. He's going to follow me around. And he'll make little noises. So we're going to work on our animation. We'll do some rigging. I thought that'd be pretty cool. And you can run faster than him, but he'll find you. It doesn't matter if you're hiding too. All right, let's go ahead and get started making our pet cat. I have a fresh base plate right here. There's nothing in it. And before we get started, I do use a plugin for this. I use this plugin, the RigEdit-Lite by Archmage, so we can rig our cat. If you don't have it, it's free. There's a paid for version, but there's a free version. We'll go over to our web browser. I will put this link in the description, and then you can get it. This will be like get or get model or get plugin or whatever. It'll be green. Then you press it and it won't be green. Then you'll have it. Let's say try in studio. So you can come over here, go to your home tab, go to your toolbox, and then go to your inventory tab, my models, my plugins. There it is. If you press it, boom, you might have to install it. You might have to hit install right down here. I already have it installed, right? And then when you come over to your plugins, I can get rid of this. You should see it. If you don't, you can always do manage plugins, and then you'll see some options here, right? Something you might have to click. All right, it won't be that bad. Let's go back to our home tab, and we got to start building our cat. Before we rig it, we got to build it. Let's start out by making the torso. I'll go over to part. Hit that arrow. I got a cylinder selected, but if you don't, select cylinder. That's going to be the torso. Let's go ahead and rotate it. Sweet. Let's call it torso. Torso. We're going to make that a different size. I think I'll do like 1.7, maybe 0.8 and 0.8. That's not bad. Sweet, let's make some legs. All right, I'm going to get some cylinders for that too. Add a cylinder. Oh man, not really well placed. Let's call this leg for now. We'll make it smaller. Let's make it thinner. We don't need to rotate it, but I think I'll make it 1 by 0.3 by 0.3. That'll work. Let's go ahead and move that. See if we can move that down. I'll hit collision so I know where when I hit the floor. Boom. Turn collisions off. This one up here, right? Not can collide, but collisions. And let's go ahead and move it underneath. Can we get it? Oh man, there we go. That'll work. And let's move that maybe right about here. I want him to have a little foot. So I think what I'm going to do is Control D to duplicate in place. There we go. And then I'm going to scale this down. I can kind of see it. And then I just move that out a little bit. That's going to be his foot. In fact, I think I'm going to make it a little thicker. I'm going to go scale and then pop it up by 1. Nice. We're going to need 4 of these feet. I think I'm going to make the feet black. I want to union these parts. I don't feel like welding them together. So I'm going to click that leg part. I'm going to control click the foot part. Both of these are selected. Then I'm going to go over to my model. I'm going to hit union. And the whole thing's going to be black. Let's go down here. And notice how that didn't change, even though I hit it black. It's all right. Use part color. There we go. All right, now I'm going to make a couple of these legs. So I'll hit the move tool. My collisions are off. I'm going to Control D to duplicate in place. I'm going to move that leg up. And then I'll do a Control D, duplicate in place. Move that over here. Control D and move that back. Sweet. I have this on 0.1 studs for movement if you are curious. I think I'll move those legs back a little bit. Nah, that's fine. All right, we need a tail. All right, so I got a lot of things now that are called union. I'm afraid if I make my tail, I might get confused. Let's rename these first before we make our tail. I think I'm going to call this left leg. Right, and then let's click on the next one. That one's on the other side. So that one I'm going to call right arm. I'm going to keep it similar to what the R6 is. All right, what's this one? That one is left arm. Left arm. And then what's this last one? That one is left leg. Oh, I thought we had a left leg. That's right leg. Let's change that to right leg. Right leg. And then we'll make this one left leg. And you can name them whatever you want. You just have to have unique names. But I want to keep them kind of consistent in case I want to make more cats. I want to make it obvious. Tail's going to go here. Head's going to go here. You can tell by the direction of the feet which way I'm intending to go. All right, let's make a tail. So we'll hit this torso. I'll do a Control D again because we're going to use another cylinder. I'm going to make it a simple tail, but you could rig the tail so that you get a complex wagging of the tail. That would be kind of cool. Let's just go ahead and call that tail so we don't get confused. I think I'll make it black. Probably a different color black, but that's all right. And let's go down here. Size, maybe make it a little shorter. How about 1.5? And then maybe 0.2 and 0.2. Yeah, that ain't bad. Let's go ahead and let's rotate it. Yeah, boom. I don't know how you want the tail. And then we'll move it. I think that'll work. That's kind of a long tail. I'm all right with that though. Let's get a head and a neck. Let's do the neck first. Let's go ahead and duplicate the torso again. We have to be careful we don't get too many of the same parts or we'll get confused. This torso is going to be the neck. So we'll rename that. I'm going to change the size of the neck. How about... we'll do maybe 0.5, comma 0.5, 0.5. Try that out. It's kind of a small neck. Let's move it up. All right, now we're going to rotate it. That's not bad. I think I'm going to make it a little bit longer though. You just have to be careful when you start turning the cat's neck. You don't want the back end of the neck to be pointing out of its body when you do your animations. So you can't have this down too far. All right, let's put a head on that. Let's get a circle, a ball. There it is. Part sphere. That's the name, sphere. And that's going to be the head. Say head. I'm going to make that 1 by 1 by 1. So on the size, 1 by 1 by 1. Straight. And I'm going to have trouble lining that up. So I'm going to get the torso's position. I clicked on the torso, got the torso's position here under C frame, Control C. I'm going to go to the head and under that position, do a Control V to paste it. There we go. At least we got it lined up with the body, right? That way we can just move it up here, move it over there. How do you want it? That neck's a little bit long. I'm all right with it. It's kind of a funny looking cat. That's fine. Let's make a nose and some eyes. So with the head selected, let's hit Control D so that we duplicated. It didn't take. Control D. There it goes. And there it is right there. Let's make that small. It's going to be a nose. So I'm going to call it nose so don't get confused. Nose. And then the size, I'll make that 0.2, 0.2, and 0.2. Let's see what that looks like. That's pretty good. Let's make that black. Straight. And then I'm going to make an eye. Control D to duplicate it. I can keep that nose. I don't think I'll get confused. Just move it up a little bit. Maybe move it out. Control D again to make another eye. I think I'm going to give them pupils too. Let's make these eyes blue and the pupils black. I'll do a Control click on the second eye. They both say nose, but that's all right. We know they're eyes. They're going to become a union part soon, so I'm not going to bother relabeling it. I'm going to go black, make them blue, and then we're going to make pupils that are black. Oh, we got to move these back a little bit too because it's sticking out of his head. That's good. All right, I'll do a Control D. It's going to duplicate both of those. And they're both named nose. We're going to change the size. Both of them are still selected, but you could do them one at a time in case you lost the selection. but this might save a little time. How about 0.1, 0.1, and 0.1? Boom. And so you see the difference. Let's go change that to black. And then let's move those two pupils out. Kind of sticking out there a lot. Is that all right? Yeah, that's fine. Right? Kind of funny looking. All right, let's put the ears on there. See how that fixes things. Yeah, we'll put a part. How about a wedge? It's a big old wedge. That I'm actually going to change to ear. I just know all those noses will go together. Let's make an ear right here. We're going to change the size of the ear. Size 0.1. We'll make it thin. How about 0.4 and 0.4? That looks good. All right. I'm going to have trouble lining that up. So I'm going to grab the head part. I hit the position on the head. Control C. I'm going to go to my ear. Get the position. Control V to paste it. Paste the position from the head into the ear. Now the ear is inside the head, but it's lined up. It's centered. That's pretty good. I'll just move that. How about like here? Do a Control D, but we're going to flip the ear. So we'll do rotate and boom. How's that? Looking good. Let's move that ear out. Is that centered? Maybe one tick that way. Yeah, we could keep it like that. That's kind of cool. But I think what I'm going to do is just rotate it a little bit. Just do a little bump right there. Maybe a little bump right there. Not bad. I think I'll make those ears black. Sticking out a little bit. Let's just push it in. Joink. There you go. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let's make them black. I think one ear is bigger than the other, but that's fine, right? It's a Roblox cat. Let's get that ear. Let's get the other ear. Change the color to like black. And now let's get, if you want to change the head, change it now because we're going to use union everything. And then you can't change them individually after we do that. So I have an ear. I'm going to hit Control, click head, nose, 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 nose. What about the neck? Yeah, let's make the neck part of that. Neck. And then we'll go over to model. We'll do union. Did I not hit it? There it is. Union is hiding from me. Cool. Now it's all one part. I'm going to call that part head. I think we have our cat built. So get the tail, Control click torso, Control click head, right leg, right arm, left leg, right click, group as model. Let's call this model cat. All right, now we need two things to make this a proper model so that we can rig it, right? We need a humanoid. So on the cat, hit the plus, add a humanoid. Remember, we're going to have to add the hip height and the walk speed to that, but we're going to need that for our animations. We are also going to need a humanoid root part, which is not a special part. It becomes a special part, but we're just going to use this torso. We're going to say torso, we'll click that, we'll do a Control D, and then we'll call this humanoid root part. It's got to be spelled right. Humanoid, O-I-D, root part. Now, the funny thing about this, it has to be positioned correctly. So, right click, show orientation indicator, bummer. Look at that. So, the front is down here. You can't even see it. And then the little green is the up arrow. Let's go ahead and hit rotate. Let's go like this. Oh, let's go like this. Right, so now the front is this way, but the green arrow looks like it's pointing up. Let's hit this one. And now this is front. That's what we need. We need this to be front and the green to be up. But that part looks funny, right? That's all right. Let's go ahead and change the size. Size of the humanoid root part. I'll do 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5, right? If you're still worried about it sticking out, you can make the humanoid root part transparent. In fact, on your characters, they are transparent. So you could do transparency of 1, right? Then you wouldn't be able to see it, but you couldn't see ours anyway. It was hiding in there. Now we're all ready to start rigging. So let's go over to our plugins tab over here and get our edit rig. Let's click that. Sweet. And I'm going to look at them this direction. All right, so we got our create joint and then this step. This step, this is what we're going to use to move joints. I'm going to make it 0.1 so I can move the joints around. Now you have to do this in an order. I am going to click my humanoid root part first. I'm going to hit Control and then click Torso and then do Create Joint. All right, and then you'll see the torso joint, this Motor 6D, is underneath the humanoid root part. Now let's go to Torso and let's do Tail. Torso, Control-click Tail, Create Joint. We're going to do everything so that the Motor 6D is on the torso now. Torso, Control-click right leg, create joint. Torso, Control-click right arm, create joint. Torso, Control-click left leg, boom. Right, torso, Control-click left arm, cool. And we need a head. Torso, Control-click head, create joint. There we go. So check them out. We got head. Is a head in here? Yep, head. Left arm, right? So make sure that they're all correct. Looks good. Now let's move the joints in place. We want these joints to be down where the movement's going to happen. So I'll start with this leg right here. Did I say leg? I mean tail. All right, let's click it, whatever it is, move. So I hit this dot right here so it'll move to the right. I'm going to move it down with this top dot, right? That's what we're looking at right there. That is like a tan inside of a brown dot. You want it to be right where it's going to move. All right, it doesn't have to be exact. Sweet. Let's go to, what's this one? This one is the right leg. It's looking pretty close. Let's move it up a little bit. So get the top dot, move it up to where the body and the leg connect. Sweet. Let's do right arm. So it's just up 2, 1, 2. Left leg, up 2, 1, 2. Left arm, 1, 2. All right, is that looking good? Yeah, that looks good. We'll see it once we start editing, but I don't want to have to go back and fix things. I'm happy with it. What else? We got to get the head, right? We got this one right here. Move it back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do it at the base, right at the body. Right, and then move it down. That'll work. All right, that is a fully rigged cat. All right, just go ahead and click Edit Rig, and that box will go away. And then we're going to go Home. Oh, Animate. We're going to animate it. Let's do that. Avatar. Animation Editor. We can click on our cat. And then we can make our walk animation. How about cat move? And just hit create. This is going to be a movement animation, but we're going to use our own animate script. So the animation priority is not going to be as big of a deal, but I'm still going to make it movement. And then I'm going to save it. Let's make this one for the walking. We can make another one for the head movement. I'm going to grab one of these legs right here. I'm going to have them step out. I have this on 15-degree rotation increments. So let's go 1, 2, maybe we'll go out 3 for the front, and then go out 2 for the back. So that's 45 degrees here, 30 degrees there. Move around to the other side. These legs will go back. Oops, I got the head. 1, 2, 3. Give them big front steps. Maybe 1, 2. think that'll be good. You can make them match up. In the demo, they were matched. I'm going to click here. I'm at the 0 on the scrubber bar, right? That's the very first frame. Right click, copy selected. So wherever this blue scrubber bar is, there we go. I'll do a paste. So I click to make that thing move, right? And I'm going to click again. That's at the 9. I just picked it. We'll go click again at the 18 and paste. So they're all the same. I want to change the middle one. If I want to change keyframes, I got to make sure that scrubber bar is lined up with my keyframes. So this one, the feet are going to go the other way. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. This one will go 6 out, right? I'll just line it up with the other foot. Boom. Let's go to the other side. 1, 2, 3. That's straight down. 1, 2, 3. And then the back leg. 2 is straight down. 1, 2. All right, let's see what we got. I'm going to loop it. Toggle looping animation. I'm going to play. I like that. That's pretty good. So you can make this faster or slower by dragging these out. If you want slower steps, right, you could do something like that. Maybe at 15, 15th frame, and the 30th frame. That's pretty cool. Kind of looks like he's going backwards though. But I think that's because he's still. But I think I'll go with 9, the 9th frame, and the 18th frame. You can also change the speed of this in the Animate script. All right, yeah, that's good. All right, let's go ahead and unrun that, or pause it, I should say. Hit the 3 dots. We'll save it. Hit the 3 dots again. We're going to publish to Roblox. And cat move is good. Let's hit the submit. Get this ID. We're going to hit these 2 boxes to copy the ID. ID copied. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to my cat. Hit the plus A. Animation. And where is that? Down here under the torso. Here it is. Animation. Go to animation ID. Control V. And then we'll hit enter. And now we got the animation ID in there. Sweet. Let's call this walk anim. Let's make another animation for his head movement. We'll fire that off periodically. See, click here to continue using animation editor. Good. Hit these 3 dots. Create new. And we'll call this cat head movement. How about that? Cat head movement. And we'll create. I'm going to grab his head. I'll just move this down, right? And then maybe he'll come here. Maybe he wants to sniff this way a little bit. And then go here. Maybe he wants to sniff back. Should that be good? We could just stop it there. We could just play it, see what happens. So his head's gonna be up. You don't want to have too much movement. I think I'm gonna add one more keyframe now. Let's see. We'll go 12, 18. How about that? We'll go ahead and test this out. We can always come back and modify it. Hit these 3 dots. Hit save. Hit the 3 dots again. We're going to publish to Roblox. Cat head movement. That'll work. Submit. Get this ID. Boom. And close. We're going to need another animation under the cat. So go to the cat. Hit the plus. Add an animation object. It's down at the bottom. Call this like head move. Head move anim. How about that? Now we got to put the ID in there. Control V and enter. All right, so you have to publish these off under your account for them to work for your game or the game creator's account. Make them in the game that you're actually creating if you're sharing with other people or doing team create. All right, so you have to be careful of that. If you have an animation of your own, you're going to have to port it into a team create game and then republish the animation for that ID. In order to run these animations, I'm going to go up to the cat, hit the plus, and then add a script. I am going to call the script Animate. All right, there we go. I'm going to close this window right here. Oh, that text is tiny. Let's make it bigger so you can see it. That's pretty good. We'll get some variables. Say local char equals script.parent. So now this animate script is going to go up to the cat. That's the char, the character. And then we're going to get the humanoid from the character. So we'll say char, wait for child, humanoid. And we got to get our walk anim. Where is that? Let's go down here. Ah, here it is. Walk anim. So we'll say, not on the humanoid, char, wait for child, walk anim. Cool. We need another one. Let's get the, what do we call it? Head move anim. How about that? Head move anim. That's also in the char, wait for child, head move anim. We're going to need walk tracks. So we'll say local walk anim track hum.animator and load animation. And that's going to be the walk animation. Ooh, no speech quotes. Walk animation. And we're also going to do one for the head movement too. Let's do that. Local head movement track. I just did move before, right? Head move track. Hum.animator, load animation, and no speech quotes again. Head move anim. All right, so this is the track that we can start and stop. Now, on the humanoid, I ran into this problem. I was really surprised. I thought Roblox would have fixed it by now. Make sure there's an animator in here, right? So I was playing around with this the other day. No animator, I got an error. All right, so it should be there. If it isn't, hit the plus and then do an A. You can add the animator yourself, right? So there's got to be an animator on the humanoid right there. All right, what else? Okay, we can start our animate script. I'm just going to do it for the run. So I'm going to say hum running connect function, and speed will get passed in. We'll say if speed is greater than 0, then if not, walk anim track dot is playing. Right, so if we're moving and the walk anim track is not playing, then let's fire it up. Let's say walk anim track. There it is. Play. And we can adjust the speed here. I'll put it in there just in case you need to adjust the speed. So we can adjust speed. And the regular speed is 1. So that doesn't change anything. But if you want them to go faster, you might want to put like 0.5 or something like that. So 1, just so you know how to do it. Now, put the else here, right? So if there's no speed, and if walking anim track is playing, then. So this one, if it's not playing. So we're moving. If it's not playing, start it up. If we're not moving and it is playing, shut it down. So I'll say walk anim track stop. And then, I don't know, why don't we kick off a head movement here, right? So we'll do the head movement track. You could do a loop somewhere else. Just have it every now and then fire off a head movement. But this will work. We'll just say play. In order to get this thing going, let's go ahead and make a simple move it script. We'll go to the cat right here, hit the plus. I'm going to add another regular script. There it is. I'm going to call this move it. And we're going to have this for following around the player, but not at the moment. We're going to make it simple to test it out. I know that this has not been a simple video. So we'll do a local char equals script.parent to get the cat. And then we're going to get the humanoid from the char. Wait for child. Humanoid. And let's just wait 3 seconds or 4 seconds, 5 seconds. So we get in the game, we can see what's going on. Yeah, 3 is good. And I'm just going to do a local rand for a random number generator. We'll just create a new one of those. We'll do the move to, and let's move to the center first. Move to vector 3, new, 0, 0, 0. We'll do a move to finish. So remember, this is a colon. This is a dot. We're capturing the move to finished event. When we stop moving, we either arrived or we didn't. So we're going to connect that to a function. Then we're going to have a variable called reached, right? If reached is true, we got to the move to completed, and we got to the destination. If it's false, we didn't get to the destination, right? But it fired anyway. So we're just going to assume that we can move again. We don't care if we actually got there or not. So I'm going to do a val x for a value for an x value. I'm going to change my position by between 0 and 30 studs. We'll do a val z rand next integer, move between 0 and 30 studs, and now we're going to get another move to. Let's just copy the whole line. Control C, Control V. That 0 will be val x. Oops, x. Oh my goodness, x. There we go. And then a val z here. So a val x and a val z. Before we test it, I also want to change the humanoid's hip height. Let's take a look at that. We'll go to humanoid and then take a look at the hip height. That's the height of the character, the rig, as it's walking. So hip height is set to 0. Our cat is, I don't know, about a stud high. So maybe we'll put it at like 0.8 for now. But because I just kind of made it there, I don't know exactly what it should be. And I want the cat to be moving slow. So I think I'm going to change my walk speed down here to like 5. Now you can also do it here. You don't have to do it in both places, but I just want to show you. So you do humanoid dot hip height. There we go. Equals, and we had like 0.8. This is the one that's going to be taken if you change it here in the humanoid, down here in the properties, and then you start up your game and you have them both and they're different. This is the one that's going to be taken, right? So we'll do also humanoid. How about walk speed? I'm making them the same, 5. All right, let's go ahead and try this out. See what happens. Hit the play, and we'll go to view output. Look at that. We have a cat that's walking a little too high and he's strafing, right? He's not going in the right direction. Whatever you see movement, funny movement issues, like if he's upside down or he's going backwards or strafing like that, it's the humanoid root part. Let's go ahead and fix that. I'm going to turn this off. Now this worked perfectly like 5 or 6 times before I went to do the video, but Roblox is a little bit funny like that. This humanoid root part, let's make it bigger and so that we can see it. We'll do a 1 or a 0 for transparency so we could see it. I don't know if I had that 0 or 1. And we'll make the size bigger. How about 1 by 1 by 1? I'm thinking it's the cylinder. Let's go ahead and change the cylinder shape. It shouldn't make a difference. I bet it's gonna make a difference. So down here we see shape, humanoid root part. Down here is shape. I'll move this up a little bit. I'm gonna change it from cylinder to block. And since we're here, let's go ahead and check the orientation indicator on the humanoid root part. I'll go ahead and click that, or show orientation indicator. Boom. So that's looking good, right? It's in the front of the block, and then the little green arrow is pointing up. I'm going to try and play this. I'm going to keep this visible so I can see, make sure nothing's changing. Hit the play. And here we go. Our game's starting up. Might as well open up the output window. Cat's moving in the right direction. Still high. That's all right. Oh, look at that. No strafing. And when it switches direction, oh, look at that. That's perfect. Let's just change the hip height now, and we're going to make that humanoid root part invisible. We're going to keep it just like that because obviously the cylinder and the block is making a difference now. It shouldn't, but it does. So let me go ahead and turn this off. All right, I'm playing my game. Let's take a look at our cat. Where's the cat? There's a cat. Yeah, that's looking better. Now let's make the cat follow us. Oh, we could do a spawner too. Might as well, right? It's already a long video. Let's go ahead and turn this off. We'll change the code so the cat can follow us, and we'll spawn it into the world. In order to have the cat follow us, the cat needs an owner, right? So he's got to know who to follow. So I'm going to go to this cat right here. I'm going to hit the plus, and I'm going to hit OB for object value. I'm going to add the object value. It just says object value. I'm going to call this owner. All right, there we go. So we got the owner on the cat. We're going to spawn the cat. We don't really need to, but it's more fun that way. Let's grab our cat. Let's drag the cat down to server storage, and we need some way to get the cat out into the world. So maybe we'll make a little button, right? Let's go to home, and then we'll put a block here. That'll work. Just put a button out there. Call this stand, cat stand. Free cat stand. How about that? I'll just call it cat stand. And then let's anchor it so it doesn't fall over. Let's go here, anchored. We need to put a button there. Let's go ahead and add a cylinder. There's a cylinder. And then we'll rotate the cylinder. Perfect. That's going to be the button. Got to make it more button size. So, anchor that. Anchor it. And then go to size. Got to go up. Size. And I'm going to make that like 0.2 by 1.5 by 1.5. You don't want to make it too small because you want your mobile people to be able to press it. All right, we'll make that like green or something easy to see. Right? And then let's go to the cat stand. Let's get the position of the cat stand. C-frame position, Control C. Go to the button. Notice my collisions are off. Go to the position on the button, Control V. Boom, button is inside. Pull the button out. Collision's on. Did I pull it the wrong way? I did. Collision's off. Pull the button out that way. Collision's on and bump it up against. Boom. All right. And let's put a click detector on the button. I'm going to move the button under the cat stand so we keep it all together. And then the button, hit the plus, add a script, and we need a click detector. There's a click detector. I think I'll put the script on the click detector. That'll work. And then in the script, I'll call that like cat spawner. Cat spawner. And we're not going to check to see if the guy already has a cat or the player already has a cat. We'll just assume that you can figure out how to do that. And if you can't, the guy's just going to get a lot of cats if he keeps hitting the button. Let's get a variable for our click detector. Say local. I'll just call it click. Click equals script.parent. And I need a variable for server storage. That is game get service server storage. What else? We need a local, we need the cat, and that is in server storage. Don't forget your equals. Right, wait for child, cat. Get the click detector, capture the mouse click event, connect that to a function. Player is going to get passed in, click detector is passed in the player. We will clone the cat. So make a cat clone because you don't want to give away your only cat, right? Just give away a clone. Oh, I keep missing that equal sign. There we go. Cat colon clone. And you got to give the clone a parent. I am going to parent it to the workspace. If you parent it to a player, they could die, right? That could mess things up. So we'll do workspace. And then we need the cat humanoid root part. I'm going to say cat HRP so we don't get confused. That's going to be on the cat clone. We'll do a wait for child, humanoid root part. Oh, I like it when it gives you the IntelliSense works. Then we'll do a local. We need the char for the player, right? So the player got passed in right here. Should we call it char or should we call it hum char? I'll call it char. Right, and then that's from the player.character. Or we could do player.character added wait just to make sure that the character is added to the workspace. And humanoid root part of the character. So I'll say humanoid root part. How about char HRP? Right, that's the character of our player. I know this is getting a little confusing. This will be humanoid root part also. Let's move the cat into the world by doing a cat HRP colon pivot to. That's going to move the C frame of the humanoid root part of the cat to the char's humanoid root part get C frame. So get pivot, which is actually the C frame. And then we're just going to subtract off. We'll do a vector 3 new. How about 0, 0, and then minus 10 studs? So we're just going to move the cat slightly away from the character's humanoid root part. So let's see, that's char, HRP, get pivot, C frame of the character, move it back onto Z by 10 studs, and then we're going to set the cat's humanoid root part to that place. That should work. And then we're going to get the owner tag. We'll say local owner tag of the cat clone. All right. And we'll do a wait for child owner. Then we'll do the owner tag dot value equals the player that actually clicked. Nice. Let's go to the cat now and modify the move it. So the cat is in server storage. Let's go down and move it. All right. And then we just have some random directions. We're going to change that up a little bit. Not too much. We don't really need a wait here. Let's put it like a 1 second wait. How about that? So the cat gets in the world, waits for a second. It's like, oh, what's going on? And I want to keep all of this the same. Let's go down here. We'll get a variable for the owner, which is now on the cat because we spawned it into the workspace. That's why this move it script is starting up. So we have owner equals char. We got the char up at the top. We'll do a wait for child owner, and that's dot value. Remember, that's a object value. That's the player. So from the player, we're going to need the owner's character. We'll say owner char equals owner dot character or owner dot character added wait. And IntelliSense didn't help me with that. Hopefully there's no typo there, but we will find out when we go to start it. Do local owner HRP humanoid root part. We're going to get that from the character. So we'll say owner char colon wait for child humanoid root part. And let's get a preferred distance. So I'm going to say local pref dist. And what should we make that? Like 10 studs, 8 studs? How about 8 studs? All right, what do we got here? You know what? It might be easier just to delete this. Let's do a while true do. Let's put our wait in there right away so we don't exhaust our resources. Wait 2 seconds. And I want to get a difference of where the cat is and where the player is. So let's do a local diff equals owner HRP dot position and subtract that from the cat HRP. Do we have a cat HRP? We don't. All right, let's write it out. Let's finish this. Cat HRP and dot position. That's complaining. Let's put the cat HRP up here. Local cat HRP equals char. Wait for child. Humanoid root part. IntelliSense jumped in right there. That's pretty good. We have a difference. Let's make sure that the difference, if the difference dot magnitude. So this is a vector 3. It's got 3 numbers, an x, y, and z. It's the difference, a difference vector between the owner's position and the cat's position. We want the absolute distance, so we're going to get the magnitude. If that is greater than the preferred distance that the cat prefers, we will get the direction, because we got to move. And you can get the direction. We'll do the diff.unit vector. That is essentially going to be this diff, but squashed down to a length of 1. Why do I do that? Well, when I go to do a hue move to, right, I want to get the owner's HRP's position, and I'm going to subtract that from the difference vector, but I want to know exactly how far. So I'll say the pref distance times the direction, which is the direction that they're in, but of length 1. This is going to put me 10 studs away from the position. If I just use diff, we wouldn't be able to multiply it and control the distance, right? That's a little bit of vector mathematics. And I think we're good. Let's go ahead and try this out. Let's hit play. Here we go. We're starting up. We'll go to view output. Make sure we don't have any errors down here. And I'm going to go over to my button. Click it. There's my cat. If I get too far away, the cat's going to try and find me. And every time he stops, he's going to sniff. Right? We have that in the animate script. That's pretty cool. Here he comes. So there's a little pause, right? We have like a 1 second pause for him when he gets into the world, but then there's a 2 second delay every time he looks for his human. Sweet. That's pretty cool. All right, I will see you in the next video.